Hello everybody and welcome to Let's Build live from Oak Hill Works. How are we all doing this evening? It is great to have you here. It is great to be back with the D class, which is looking very blue on camera still, which is really odd. Because if you haven't noticed from things like the thumbnail, when I take pictures of it, it looks really green, because it is green. How very strange. Hello, Javier. Welcome. How are you this evening? I hope you are well. So yes, we're gonna get some more paint on the D class because it definitely needs more paint. It's looking a bit bare. We're going to put another coat of the green on it because it definitely needs another coat all over with that. The wheels do not look like they need another coat, but the chassis does need another coat. And what would be really great would be if we get the black on it tonight as well, and then it really would start to really look like it's coming together. And then I've got some other projects for us to work on. Some kits of an unknown provenance. Very studious day doing all right. Excellent. Glad to hear you are doing all right. So yes, back out with the Phoenix Precision Loco Green to start with. Hello, Heritage Railway Productions. How are you this evening, sir? I hope you are well. So I've been practicing my fine painting through the week. There is a video coming up soon that should hopefully show what the benefit of 5 years worth of experience can do, based between what you'll see in the thumbnail and what you'll see on the camera. I was hoping to have that out this week, but I'm not convinced it's going to happen. I'm still aiming for this week, but I do have plans for what to do instead if I don't get it done on time. So yes, let's get some more green on here. You can see here where the colour is rather poor. What you can't see is where the colour is definitely green. I don't know why this camera has decided it's blue. So I say, check the thumbnail. The thumbnail, it is definitely green. Good, thanks. How are you? I am very well, thank you. After the issues I was having last week. So, did anyone hear that hammer in there? That's the question. Because there was a spurt of it there. Looks green to you. Does it look Chatham green to you? Because it doesn't even look green in Streamlabs to me, Alex. I realise even there, even in Streamlabs, to me that looks blue. It's not just on my telly watching the stream back. How does this look on camera? That looks a similar sort of colour. It's definitely looking very different. I mean, it is, to me, that is the same colour as the Hornby H class. So if anyone has an H-class to hand, you can tell me whether it looks the same colour on your screen as it does in the flesh. Very glad to hear it does look Chatham green to you though, Alex. That is quite a relief. Agree, they do look pretty much the same. Yeah, it is. Oh, there's some skin come out of the paint there. And there. And I'll be honest, even if the Hornby colour was wrong, I'd rather match that than be right, because then it will at least look right on my layout. And so there is that, looking a lot better if you ask me. So looking at the photos of my C, your items look minutely darker, but I think that's just lighting difference. It could well be. So I've recently had to change the main light in the room, and I'm not as happy with how it is as I was with the old one. So I am going to see if I can get a bulb the same as the old one. At some point. Because obviously when doing stuff like this, lighting is important. Indeed, no lighting command. God, wouldn't that be weird if I could do that, have my lighting hooked up to the computer and have commands control the lighting? That's such a terrible idea. But it would be funny. Can never have too much lighting. Oh, you definitely can. The new main light is brighter than the old one. And so you can see my shadow as I move across there. Whereas with the old lighting setup, the lights that are in front of the camera were brighter, so my shadow didn't show up on camera. At least that was the theory. Bot doesn't say lighting is important. I mean, we could make the bot say that, but I don't see it coming up often. Some Twitch streamers do have that. That's such a terrible idea. Doesn't surprise me that it's a thing. Can we do that on your streams, Alex? Have your bedroom light hooked up? We can just flash it occasionally. Obviously no one will notice except for you screaming. Be funny. What's that German word? Don't forget to do the things that Alex says, which are, in this case, smash the like button and hit subscribe if you aren't already subscribed. Make sure you ring that notification bell whilst you're at it so that you are alerted whenever I go live or upload a video. And talking of uploading videos, I hope everyone saw Tuesday's video. I really do hope everyone saw Tuesday's video. That's a very important video to me. I need something for people to spend their points on, I suppose. You do, Alex. You do. I would definitely spend my points on that. So, the chassis definitely needs another coat of paint. And then we're going to move on to these other things I've got sat next to me, which I'll be honest, I doubt they're going to take more than 10 minutes each. And so this is the Phoenix Chatham Loco Brown. I'd like to point out several times I've said that I hope my streams are more interesting than watching paint dry. I've never said I hope they're more interesting than watching someone paint. But I mean, if you came here for something other than real-time modelling, you've come to the wrong place. Oh, and here come all the links from Alex the Mole. Thank you very much, sir. That is very much appreciated. What have we got in there? We've got the website, we've got the Discord, we've got Twitter, the merch store, the Patreon, and the donate links. Do take advantage of all those things. We have an excellent community over on Discord. Great bunch of people. So yes, everyone is welcome there, and I would love to see you all there. It's not just about me when we're over on the Discord, it is about everyone. Do come and join in. And the Patreon and donate links go directly towards funding the channel. which currently spends a lot more money than it makes. And at some point she'll spend enough money to sort out whatever's wrong with the proper microphone. I cannot wait to have that back. I approve of proper microphones and kittens. But what about flux kittens, James? Still no luck with it. Nope, it's really, really bugging me that I can't get it going. So since it's come up, before we move on to, I also approve of flux kittens, excellent. Before we move on, look at all that stuff you don't normally see. For those that don't know what a wonderful setup we have here, we have a proper studio mic on a boom with a pop filter. No. Not right now, I'm not. Don't hit the buttons when you're folding things up, everyone. That was very silly. We also have a nice professional control panel. That was very silly. Hopefully that wasn't on for long. I'm just waiting for it to come back to live. There we go, we're back to live on my screen now. So yes, we have the nice professional studio mic, which obviously connects with nice professional studio mic cables. Luckily, I have one that connects to a regular microphone port on a computer. No, computer doesn't like that. So I bought it a USB sound card. No, computer doesn't like that. So I bought another one of these cables that plugs into USB. No, computer doesn't like that. So until I can sort that out, I can't use the studio mic. I did consider taking the camera apart, removing the microphone from it and soldering the leads to the studio mic in its place. Because in theory that would work. But if I messed it up, I would then also have no microphone on the camera. Could be worse. Could talk for 10 minutes whilst muted. Yeah, that's true. I do have a mute button as well, actually. So we put that there. That won't go over far enough. If we put that up there, you can see. There is our control panel, which lets me go live and record and change all my scenes and mute the microphone, as well as unmute it. It's almost like I'm doing this properly. Almost. So there you have a quick behind the scenes look at a Oak Hill Works recording studio. And before we go any further, I should let you all know hydration is very important. But yes, technology. It's rather annoying. Since we've looked at that side, we then have on that side the laptop with all the software running the stream. And that is also where I see your chat. Hashtag professional streamer. I do my best. I like to do things properly. You may have noticed. So yeah, that is the full setup here at Oak Hill Works. But right now, we have two kits of unknown provenance. And they're not 00. These are two 3D printed 009 kits. Man of quality. Where? I don't see one of them around. Yes, two 009 kits. This is all I have of them. There is no instructions, nothing. In theory, they're going to be nice and easy. If we just tilt that down a bit. Oh look, I've never even opened this. It's still stapled shut. But again, these were donated to me. I do not know the manufacturer. I can still hear the neighbours hammering the wall. So these are clearly go in here for the couplings. I will trust that because I do actually stick with RTR couplings on my 009 stock for now. Let's find something with them on. Yeah, that's about the right height, so that's clearly where they mount. 009 kittens. And then I do believe this is a cattle van, making this the floor, or an open cattle thing, truck. That's the word I was after. And then the sides and ends like that. I believe it's a slate wagon by the looks of it. Doesn't look like kit I've seen before though. It could be a slate wagon, that's a good point. I honestly can't remember. It was, along with the other one, donated by someone who no longer attends the stream. So I can't ask them. But they do come with wheels pre-fitted, which is nice. I do evidently have a large-ish stockpile of wheels for 009. So I'm not sure. Oh, livestock could be. It's quite long. Yeah. I believe it's livestock. Again, I could be wrong. It could be slate. It's going to get used as livestock, being in Sussex. We don't have much slate. But we're going to build a wagon. And I believe all we need is super glue. Super glue that hasn't sealed up, preferably. There we go. That will do. Now it does look much longer than a slate wagon. Who knows? I'm not sure if this super glue is going to hold this, you see. This is the problem here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, just the right height. That is exactly where we wanted it to go. So I suppose if we get the coupling on the other side, we can build this up on the floor and then stick them together afterwards once they've both had time to set. It should. It's annoying me that I don't. You say you should, but without knowing what it is, should you really? Because there's no saying that this is actually a prototype, Alex. And I bet this one has exactly the same chassis and they're just different bodies designed to clip onto them. I mean, I could be wrong there. Good news, I'm now a 009 wagon. That was well and truly stuck. Oh yeah, it's only got it on one side, hasn't it? Yeah, there we go. That couples up. So we'll leave that there to dry. True, it might well be freelance. Exactly, without knowing anything about it, because I'm a professional streamer apparently. It could be anything. Yeah, so that sits just on the edge there. I've not seen any 009 kits made of black plastic before. Oh, it's actually blue. Yeah, this is actually very much blue, and it is 3D printed. I'll prove 009, anything could be anything. That's very true, James. Anything could indeed be anything. And in fact, that's kind of the point of this channel, is to show that anything could be anything. My guess would be that this all came from eBay somewhere. And that someone has made stuff for themselves and decided to sell it on eBay. But that is a guess. Oh, I found something. It looks like some HOE livestock wagon kits just found on Google Images. Fair enough. I say I'm pretty sure it's proper 009 rather than HOE, and I just get that impression because whoever made it stuck that on it. Indeed, Killian 009. Little things. Little tiny things. Doesn't that D-class look massive next to it? Poor little Scarlowy. No, that's Scarlowy. It's a Bachman Scarlowy, in fact. Prince is much bigger. And has a tender. Scar, what? It's from Bachman's Thomas the Tank Engine range. Would you believe? Always good to see him again. Talaflin, that's the one. I couldn't remember which one is. I can never remember which one is which. Which is rather bad, isn't it? But yeah, there's Prince. Looking rather massive next to it. Proof of Welsh Railways. All these have moved from Wales to France, to Sussex, you see, to run this lovely little railway in North Sussex, possibly slightly into Kent. Everyone should approve of Welsh Railways, especially the Talaflin. Yes, they should. They are great little railways, aren't they? Dolgok is long wheelbase wheel tank, my favourite Talaflin. Good evening. I was looking to expect to see some red engines. Good evening, Stephen. I've got a black one in reaching range. How are you this evening? I hope you are well, and fresh off giving me lots of plans for this Midland layout. Converting the Batman Reyes, so that means most of the Welsh locomotives are moving down south. Excellent, glad to hear it. Approve of your approval, my approval of the telephone. Brilliant. Approval section. It sort of fits. Nice black red engine, but even your Talaflin red engine has turned blue. It has! My Midland ones shall be red where they can be, though. Which I believe is most of the classes I have. It fit a second ago. Honest, Gov. Yes, post 1883. (1865) in Scarlowy and Renee is still a future plan for me, even if only for display. Excellent, Alex. Obviously my guide for how I did mine is up on RMWeb in the Nutley, Crowborough and Groombridge Light Railway thread. It's really not as hard as you'd first think. I can't remember whether I linked to the 3D printed bits I got for them though, which was the back head and the smoke box door. Need my smoke box doors then. Oh, you do them as well, do you, Killian? I need to get some things off you actually, Killian, saying that. I need to go on your Shapeways when I get paid and buy things. Hydration is important, ladies and gentlemen. Given how hard I think it is, that's not saying much. Well, you can still see some red bits coming through the foot plate there, where I've scratched paint off. Earth Faces Fountains, RWS, to the early smoke box door. I have very much the current smoke box door on mine. Talaflin's got to be my favourite narrow gauge railway, and that's why I really distraught after my camera card decided to wipe itself after I'd only uploaded 2 of the videos. Oh no! That's no fun. Speaking of which, just starting 115. But yeah, I need to order your Terrier smoke box wings, Killian. And so there we have our little wagon. So, 40 minutes in, we've done the second coat of paint on the D-Class. And now we've built a wagon kit. Even for our stream, I think that's quite good. Wouldn't you agree, everyone? Hurrah, 009 wagon. Indeed, Alex. Let me know when you do. I'll take off the markup. Oh, that's very much appreciated, Killian. Thank you. What's the glue? Poundland super glue. Which I did not fully expect to hold these, but it's doing the job quite nicely. If it needs replacing at some point in the future, then it can get replaced at some point in the future. But yeah, it's nothing fancy. It is Poundland, 3 packs for £1, super glue. It's an efficient wagon kit. It is, and look, here's another one of something different, and I can't remember what this one is. And it's also not been opened, it's still stapled. Been to many preserver hours in my life, enjoyed them. None even came close to the magic and wonder of the Talaflin. I've never ventured to North Wales. So, it's time to do some discovery. What do we have? Oh, it appears to be a brake van. 2 big ducats on it. And some seating. Separately fitting doors. And a chassis that is wider and longer than the other one. So no, they're not on the same chassis. They are not a one-size-fits-all kit. Northwest Delight, I recommend it heartily. Snowdonia is quite beautiful. River brake vans, you have to go mid and northwest at some point. We've got some fine applicator nozzles from manufacturers to rear deluxe adhesives slip over the standard nozzle down to 0.5mm aperture. Yeah, the Poundland ones do come with fine nozzles, but they very quickly clog up and are useless. Good evening, Double O Paderborn. How are you today? I hope you are well. So is this supposed to be the roof or the base? Oh no, that answers it, because this one is actually rounded. So this is the base. So we shall start as we did last time. By sticking the couplings. Very well, thanks. Excellent. I am glad to hear it. Holiday in North Wales, 1 August, rained every day, driest place we went was down the Slate Mine. Castles were a hit with the boys at the age they were then. Very nice, other than the rain, obviously. Well, my last visit to a castle was quite rainy. When my van was in having some welding done for its MOT. And I was in walking distance. I had no transport, but was in walking distance of Pevensey Castle. So I went down there for a bit. And took some photos. Because I thought, why not? When I hear Talifin, I always think of Railway Series books. Well, we were just discussing that a minute ago, because my Talifin locos are mostly Bachmann, Thomas Range stuff that has been cut up. And the bot wants you all to know hydration is important. After that, we went to North Devon for several years and got sunshine, probably for the best, Stephen. Been to Wales 15 times in my life, it rained twice. I've been to Wales once, it rained once. So, that's a lot of rain. I'm going to Mallorca this year. Hopefully we'll get sunshine, that's not till October though. So we have a body to work out how it goes together. I'm guessing the ends go up that way. If if I put it that way round, it's the right way round for the camera. A roof, some doors, and some benches. Been once, it was sunny once. I went to Mallorca once, it was sunny. Good, I'm glad it was sunny. I like that record. I would like Mallorca to be sunny when I go. So one would assume the doors stick in from behind, like so. Oh, Mallorca. I thought it said New York. No, Mallorca. Hello, Luke. How are you? I hope you are well. Hello, Javier. If I was coming to the States, Javier, you would know about it. There we go. Someone's messaging Discord and I forgot to put my phone on silent. It's about to get out the greetings cards. So you'll be the first to know if I'm coming out that way, ever. I can't for the life of me find these kits online. It's confusing and annoying me so much. So they probably came off eBay. They probably weren't in production for long. I mean, let's see if this comes up on camera. Look at the surface finish. It's appalling. There is no way I will ever be able to make these look good. And I mean, look at that roof. Look at it. It's appalling. So I don't imagine they lasted long. This one's not too bad. This, on the other hand, is... Telephone's friendly railway delight after the slightly too corporate festinio. Oh, very nice. Well, I will, if I'm ever doing North Wales, I will be aiming to go to both. No 009 HOE brake vans that look like this. Talfin is a league of its own. I'm good, how are you? I am very well, Luke. Oh, was it you messaging? Was it, Killian? So it was. Let me turn my phone on to silent. Because that was my fault, not yours. Don't be sorry. I was reading Niles 009 thread earlier and forgotten how good it is. It is very good, isn't it? Oh, good lord, it looks like lizard skin. Yeah, it looks worse in real life, Alex. Don't forget the Welsh Highland if you ever go. Splendid scenery. Oh, yeah, I will be getting as many in as possible. I mean, I say if I ever go. I will go at some point. Because I want to ride all these railways. But there's a very good chance it won't be until the kids have grown up and don't have to be dragged along with me. Coarser the surface, the easier to plaster it with filler. Yeah, but these actually have detail on them. Otherwise, I would just sand it all off. Got to go. Sorry, got to tab out. Okay. thank you for coming, Becca. See you later. It's been great having you here. Good night. Like here, the raised panelling on here. The raised bits are fine. Go on, focus, camera. Show them just how bad it is. There we go. But inside, look at how terrible that is. I just see no way of bringing this kit up to a decent standard. So I'm not bothering, really. I might try and smooth out the roof. But the rest of it, I just don't see the point, in all honesty. It's just terrible. There's no other word for it. Right, what I missed. Hopefully I'm working full time and afford to buy and go as many navigator hours as possible. So yes, James and Alex, it's extremely rough. Good evening, Linny. How are you? You have missed us get some more paint on the D-Class. You've missed us build an open livestock wagon in 009. And you've missed us start work on a 009 brake van of terrible quality. These are 3D printed kits. They are not printed well. Sounds like a good idea to do that, Luke. Lots and lots of filler primer. Anyway, look at your glasses off in the dark, squinting. Shame probably never get around to 009. Have you considered a very thin down coat or two of filler? Liquid form, it should form smooth layer. Put the Union flag on the packet, given the quality. You're not allowed to compliment British stuff, Killian. Just saying. You're in the wrong place for complimenting British stuff. Seems like a bad PLA job. That's what I expect it is, yes. But yeah, I see no point even trying with just how bad it is. I mean, there are ridges on here that are 0.5 mil at least sticking out. And when you're working with that, why bother? It's never going to run on the layout, I don't think. But it's going together nicely. I've got a nice brake van. How many do I need? Has a carriage interior in it, apparently. Definitely a filament printed job. Oh god, yeah. I mean, look, the nice smooth bottom on the roof where it was sitting on the print bed compared to the layered top. God, it's horrid. I've never seen made in Britain as a sign of quality, to be honest. Oh no, it's not just made in Britain, Alex. It's made in Great Britain. Do nothing but compliment British stuff. Sips tea. You're definitely in the wrong country for complimenting British stuff. That one is lovely. You don't want to say that Pico. That is Pico, yes. When I was indulging myself at the model shop one day, I got this and a couple of other bits, and I was very happy with them. It may have been the same day that I got myself this. I really was indulging myself that day. No regrets whatsoever. I mean, I'm not opposed to you taking it off my hands, Linny. You probably want to see it in the flesh first, though. Trust me. The best British stuff is pudding. Well, Yes. I think my gut would agree with you. Pico's GVT stuff is lovely. Yes, it is. I did think about getting a full rake of their carriages, but then I thought everyone's just going to look at that on the layout and say, oh, that's the Pico Lynn Valley Tramway stuff. So I ended up just getting the brake van, and so far it has only been used at the back of goods trains. Still one of those Baldwins, although I'll probably never get round to 009. Luke, you've got a whole life ahead of you. You're only 7. Just wait till you grow up, yeah? Before deciding you'll never get stuff. Can recommend Vallejo's filler, which can be thinned right down to almost paint consistency. I'm certainly willing to give these things a go, Linny. Don't get me wrong, I will definitely give them a go. I've had one British car, still solid as a rock after 66 years, Rule Britannia. Yeah, that's when we used to make things well. Food-wise, yes, British made product. Plastic putty comes in the same pots as their paints. Plan to get a full rake of those coaches one day. Yeah, so you got a whole life ahead of you to get these things, Luke. Don't rush yourself. You may have noticed that I've not put the benches in. You'll never see them, so what's the point? Don't stick it to the chassis. That would be silly. And there we go. So the glue is just running down the insides of those. And we have most of a brake van built. You are 7, Luke. It's more 009, RTR 009 stuff's coming out as time goes by, so waiting isn't a bad thing. That is very true. Luke's right, happy late 8th birthday. I was 7 once. It's in, oh look, there's the channel's website getting a plug. We'll never see them because you'll never run this on your layout. I mean, once the roof's on, how much can you see in there anyway? Are you ever going to see those benches in there? No. These actually aren't printed too badly, and with a bit of paint might look alright. So they could actually sit somewhere on a layout out of the way. So they might end up on a layout. The rest of the kit probably won't. I think we should at least try and sort this roof out, though. Do we think this one will be big enough? Oh God, this one's actually smooth. Exactly, 3 platform benches. Yep, that's the way I'm looking at it. I mean, I think that's making some difference. It's still... Sort that mess out. I'd recommend something more industrial and powered. I mean, honestly, I was thinking originally I might just stick a sheet of plastic, like 10 thou to the roof. Which is still an option, I'm just saying. It's getting there. Slowly. It's a very textured roof, yes. Actually does feel a lot smoother now. Might be best, yeah. It's certainly improved. I think we might be alright by the time it's got some paint on it. Hope you didn't pay much for those kits. No, they were free. They were donated to me. still a rip-off. Well, you say still a rip-off. They've given half hour of entertainment on the stream, so... You know what? That'll do. It's a brake van. I would demand a refund. As I say, they were donated by someone who no longer attends the stream, so I'm not even sure I could do that. There we go. That's not daylight you can see when it's there. That's not daylight, that is just shine off the bottom of this. Because these are shiny on the bottom. And then that goes there. So the question is, everyone, which brake van do we prefer? Do we prefer the left or the right? Because I think there's the clear winner for me, personally. Yes, I remember Narrowgauge Railways use crocodile skin wagons to join the Great Wood. Yeah, the Great Wood Famine of '06, that was it. Glad you remember, Alex. Pico greater than Matchbox. Quite like the textured appearance, cloth panelled van, steampunk layouts seem to be the in thing. Well, not lots of votes for the right one coming in. I can't imagine why. It's certainly an interesting brake van. What with its lack of brake gear and stuff. I refuse to answer the question as a PG stream. Let's not dignify the question with a response. So, Alex and Killian, I'm taking that as a left. Yeah? Okay. Glad we've cleared that up. But there we go. 2 009 kits, which I believe came off eBay. They were 3D printed. They came to me for nothing, and they've provided half an hour of entertainment on the stream, so I'm not complaining. One of them will get used, one of them won't. I'll leave you to decide which is which. Well, it didn't take up too much of your time. It did not. Just going to remind everyone now that hydration is still important. since we got the paint sitting here, let's get some paint on this. Why not? 2009 kits that can only loosely be described as wagons. Little one does look like a slate wagon. It does look quite like a slate wagon, doesn't it? I'm sure I remember being told it was a livestock wagon, but it could be, but I could be wrong about that. Too long, definitely livestock. That's not the way you want to put down the lid of your paint. I have decided that this wagon shall pretend it's made of wood. And so it shall get a base coat of this brown colour. You'll probably get a black underframe though. Slate wagons are diddy little things. I'll take your word on that. My lack of going to North Wales and the lack of having any slate wagons at all, actually, from any manufacturer, makes it hard for me personally to judge. Knowing the 009 interests of the person that donated them as well, I would say it's more likely to be livestock than slate. There we go, it doesn't look too bad. I approve of diddy little things. I've seen some preserved slate wagons at close quarters. I fit in the museum at the Welsh Highland very easily. Back ones are very nice, also very expensive. Yet the very expensive is sort of why I've never got any. Like, I've seen them listed for sale. I'd forgotten how good Niall's 009 layout is. You said that already, Luke. I would always use things like Dundas kits for 009 stock. Picked them up at the chorus while I was there. I mean, that's the route I've always looked for 009 stock. Speaking of which, you must visit the chorus as well. Well, we're just getting a list of places I need to visit, are we? I mean, I have a very different type of 009 kit here that needs me to make stuff for it still. out of Plasticard, probably. In that it's gem. Need some bogies bought for it as well, so it can stay away for the time being. But I do have a gem carriage. I'd love to get the other carriage to go with this, because they did the 2 kits. The other one being the brake. So I'd love to have just a rake of just the 2 of them. But for now, I just have this one, which is actually just 4 sides and 4 buffers. And the mounting points for the bogies. The floor is cardboard and is coming out. The roof it came with was cardboard and went very quickly. The cardboard's not even cut straight. The whole thing's a bit of a mess. It was glued together. It will be soldered. So yeah, it does need tiny, as we love it. Valleys around there. Long Lake, Talaflin are paradise. Fair enough. Now that's a proper looking carriage. It's nice, isn't it? It's very nice. I bought a bulk load a while ago on eBay for the sake of that carriage and this also relatively knackered body to go with it. At some point I need to work out what's missing from here, because I'm sure it's probably not just the chimney, and get it all 3D printed for me so that I can have replacements, because I think that's the best way of doing that. But it all needs to come completely apart. It's glued together and it's not glued very well. So at some point they'll get done. And whilst the 009's out, I also need to, at some point, get replacement parts for this. What's the prototype? I'll find some pictures of it. It's a it is a Talaflin carriage, I believe. The prototype of the gem ones. Is that white metal? It is white metal. I'd like to volunteer to design those pieces, sir. Thank you, Killian. RAF blue livery. It will be getting RAF blue livery, yes. But yeah, this one, I have none of the small fittings for it. And when I emailed Langley Models about that, I never heard back from them. Because I emailed them, say I've got this kit, I've got no small fittings for it. I gave them a list of what I'm missing and asked if it was possible to buy just those parts, and never heard back. So might get some new sizzle action. Not tonight we won't, unfortunately. But yeah, you can see I'm missing a lot out of there. Which is rather unfortunate. Yeah, I need to buy stuff for all of those kits. So I need some bogies for the carriage. Will be the first thing I buy. We can get this back out though. That is a very missing kit. It is. Which I expect is why I got it for so cheap, because I think I only paid a tenner for that. So we need to get another coat of the Loco brown, definitely not red, onto the body and the tender. Might as well wait and get a Pico one. See, I did think that, but the Pico one hadn't been announced when I got that kit. And since my line is fictional and not in Wales,